It's trailing me too. Hello, everyone. I know this podcast is supposed to be about exercise, but I got me some Sonic and my favorite snack is these bad boys. They're so good. I think they get underestimated and skipped around a lot because I don't really know why, but they're the best salty sweet snack ever. It's like the best combination that's ever lived. So I'm going to put these back. I don't really want to be eating my snack while I'm on this. I am so excited to start this whole thing. It's been like probably 3 months coming or more. I got the wild hair to do a podcast and I'm really excited to start it. The reason it took me so long was everything that I ordered, there was something wrong with it. Like I had to return a bunch of stuff and things were broken and we didn't have all the right parts. It was a whole thing. Like somebody doesn't want me to do it, but you know what? I'm going to do it. And if you guys are interested in what I'm saying today, I'm so excited and I hope that we can become friends. I started the Instagram page. If you want to follow, my handle is the Water Break Podcast on Instagram. And I will be posting about what I'm talking about and some questions that I might be answering during the podcast. And every week it's going to be a different topic. My main focus is on loving yourself and loving your kiddos. I'm a mom of 2. I live in a small town. Recently, a year ago, we moved here and it's been a crazy experience. And today we're going to talk about exercise. So exercise is a pretty broad topic. What really sparked my interest in this topic was I was chatting with my mom. She's so great. I love her. And she was telling me about how she is getting back into running. And you guys, she ran 4 miles. Guys, she's like 50. Dude, that's crazy and amazing. And she was telling me like that she isn't really a runner and she doesn't really like it, but she does it because she has goals, which is great. So one thing that I would always say to myself when I would exercise, and something that she also said that kind of sparked my memory, is I hate this thing, but I'm going to do it because it's good for me or because it's healthy or because I should, or, those types of thoughts that we have in our head. And I just want to say that I just don't like it. I used to do it all the time when it came to exercise, okay? I used to have a gym membership. I used to get on the treadmill and run for like 30 minutes or jog, walk, whatever I wanted to do. And then I would go downstairs and like try and figure out what kind of like lifting I want to do. And then I got a personal trainer for like 6 months. Did I see any difference? A little. But to be honest, I hated every minute of it. I mean, I hated waking up early to get my exercise in because I had kids, and I had work. I was working full time and I knew that I needed to lose weight and I knew that exercise was good for me, but I hated every minute. And I know that you guys feel the same way out there because I've heard it a bunch of times. Nobody ever wants to get up and go exercising, which is fine. It's totally fine. But I just want to offer something to you guys that might be helpful. I don't know. You don't have to take it, man. Live your life. I don't care. So I hated waking up early. I hated running. It was super uncomfortable and it was just painful. Have you guys ever started running and you like start running and after 3 minutes you're just like, I want to die. I'm so done with this. This hurts so bad. Yeah. I felt that a lot. But in my mind, I was always like, well, this is good for me. I'm supposed to be doing this. This is really the only thing that I can really think of to like exercise. And I need to check it off my list because it's in my goals. It's all bull crap, guys. Like, really, it is. Like, I don't know why we do this to ourselves. We make all these insane psycho goals. Like, I remember after I had one of my babies and after like 6 weeks, I was like writing down all these goals of how I'm going to like go running and lifting and, you know, sprinting and all this stuff. I'm like, dude, like, what was I thinking? I just had a child. Like, give myself a break, you know? If you hate exercise and you can't figure out why you can't get the motivation, just take a look and see, you know, inside yourself and see what's important to you. What makes you feel good? What makes you happy? What makes you feel strong? And that's one thing, another topic that I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about was the idea of being aware of your own body and of your spirit and your soul and just finding out who you are. Because, okay, so ever since I moved to this little small town, things have become so much slower. And you really have extra time to just think about your life and what's going on with it instead of, I used to just be on my phone all the time and so busy going to this place and that and making sure I'm going to all the events and the parties and the family stuff. And living in a small town kind of allowed me to stop that and realize who I am. And so how this relates to exercise is you just need to find out what your body and your soul wants out of exercise. For me, when I started to really get serious about who I was and finding out who I wanted to become, I started to become more aware of the things that I did and then how I felt about them. So, for instance, when I would go long distance running, I was super uncomfortable and I didn't like it. My body just really fought against me with it. And that for me wasn't enjoyable. When I would plan my week out and plan on running X amount of miles or X amount of minutes, whatever it was, I never followed through with it because I just dreaded it the whole time. I didn't want to do it, but I knew that I should do it. And if I didn't do it, then I would just beat myself up over and over about how horrible a person I am because I don't want to exercise. And so what I started to do is I was like, you know what? I'm going to figure out a way to like exercise. I'm going to like it. I don't know how, but I'm going to figure it out. And I'm going to try and listen to my body as I try and figure it out and see if it really does make a difference, because maybe my body just hates moving. I mean, it's totally possible. Some of us, I mean, you do 2 minutes of a workout, any workout, and you're just like, I want to die, which is fine. It happens to the best of us. You know, we always get overwhelmed and tired, and, you know, we need that like little Sonic fix, you know what I'm saying? It just happens, and that's okay. So what I did was I took out a piece of paper and I wrote down every single thing that I could have access to and would be like plausible for me to do for exercise. And I literally went down the list and did 1 to 2 exercises of that specific thing. and just felt what I felt like before, during, and after. And so, you guys, one of the things that I did was ballroom dancing, because my sister did ballroom and it was so pretty and so amazing. And I was like, I could do that. And so I did. I looked up on YouTube and I went to this girl. She's in another country and she was teaching different ballroom techniques and different, there was another one that had like different ballet techniques. And I don't remember her name, but she was so cute. She was probably like in her 20s and she just taught it so easily. And it was probably like a 15 to 20 minute video and it was super fun. And I got to learn something new. It was hard. Another thing I did was I did like high intensity workouts. I did Zumba, and these are all on YouTube. You can find any of these on YouTube. And then I remembered, so one of my favorite things to watch on YouTube is Fitness Marshall. If you guys haven't looked him up, he is so amazing. If you guys are interested at all in dancing for exercise, please, please, please go look him up. He is so fun. He does a dance to all the newest songs that are out right now. Like all the Ariana Grande songs and like Maroon 5 and stuff, like really fun, energetic dances. And it's like the funnest time. He usually has like 2 backup dancers that do like an easier version, which I need. Oh, I'm not a dancer. And one time I actually video recorded myself dancing. Guys, if you've never done this, do it. It is so funny. I mean, I'm not saying you have to share it with everybody and show everybody, but just do it once. It's really fun and really entertaining. Especially, so I did a Fitness Marshall one time and I videoed it, okay? And of course my kids are there because they don't go away. And I was doing my dance and I told them before the video, don't get in my way. I laid out an area. I was like, okay, don't get in this area because I'm going to be doing this dancing and I don't want to kick you in the face, And so, I started it and I'm recording it. And my stinking 4-year-old, she's so funny. Well, not funny to me at the time. She was trying to trip me the whole time. She was like putting her leg out, like trying to get in my way and like tripping me. And I was like, girl, of course, the time that I'm, recording it, of course, she didn't do that the rest of the time. Just the time that I don't want her to. But yeah, moral of the story, do Fitness Marshall and find a song that's like your favorite song. I'm sure he has a dance to it and like rock it out. It only takes each song is only like 3 minutes. And it'll really get you pumped. And I just want to talk a little bit about how exercise makes me feel. So back to the story. I wrote down a list and I tried out all the different exercises, and I realized there were so many other exercises that I enjoyed that weren't running. And it almost felt wrong to not incorporate running into my exercise plan because I had always done it. My mom ran, my dad ran, everybody runs, especially when you just want to get out and you need to exercise. It's just the easiest go-to that, you can get a hold of, which is great. It's so easy to just go out and do. But the problem is getting out there and doing it when you don't want to do it. And so if you have different alternatives that you love doing, then that motivation and that I don't want to do this exercise or I don't want to work out just might be lessened because it's something that you're interested in, something you want to do. One thing that helped me want to exercise and get out there was doing something that I loved. I found out that I love high intensity workouts. I love just doing one thing and doing it as hard as I can. I don't go to the gym anymore. I don't have a membership. I don't lift weights. I know that seems crazy. I don't run or lift weights. That's like the thing that you're supposed to do to lose weight, right? Well, I don't, because I don't enjoy it. And it takes so much work, I feel like, to plan an exercise program with weights. I never know how much to do. I never know how many to do. And I don't know. Even when I used to lift weights, like I would feel like my muscles get bigger, but I didn't really feel stronger. And, I wouldn't stay with it very long because it was just so boring. Like, I don't know if you guys feel this way, but like every time I lifted weights, it was the boringest thing ever. And, I had earphones in and I would listen to music, but for me, it was super boring. And, running and lifting weights for me is just like super boring. So, what I found out that I enjoy doing is the high intensity workout. So I do push-ups and I do jumps, and I go to the football field track area, and there's bleachers there. There's these little like cement blocks that are kind of stacked up, part of like a barrier for the grass, and I'll jump up on those, and there's this little railing that goes down, and I do like dead hangs on that. I do jog one lap around the football field. It's just kind of like a warm up to me. And yeah, I don't know. I do burpees. I just do a lot of different stuff that I really enjoy doing because I love every time I go down there. I'm like, okay, last time I did 12 burpees, I'm going to try and do 15, and then I'll do that for a week, and then I'll try and do 20. And, it's just fun to use your own body weight, and just, even not using any weights or using anything, it really gets your heart pumping. You're super tired. You're breathing so hard. And for me, that's what feels good. I love getting my heart pumping really fast. I love breathing hard and getting the blood pumping through my body. And then when I'm super tired and I feel like I can't go anymore, I'll just walk around the track once or twice. And I don't know what it is about exercise, but my brain just explodes with ideas and goodness. Like, I feel so good about myself. And that's one thing with exercise that at least motivated me to continue doing it, because I know it's going to make me feel good. Just like the Sonic and just like the chocolate covered pretzels, it makes me feel good like almost instantly. And I just love the way that it makes me feel. And another awesome thing that I have found when I go out of my house and go exercise is there tends to be other people that enjoy the same thing. When I went to the gym, nobody ever talked to me ever. Nobody ever said hi. And I don't know if this is like a stigma of LA Fitness or what, but because that was the only gym I ever went to, but like nobody was friendly. Like everybody was just like in the zone and like, hardcore all the time. And I don't know. I was just kind of lonely there, Anyway, what I want to say is when I go out to like that track field and stuff like that, I meet other people that, are jogging and running. And I met this one girl out there. You guys, she is so intense. So let me tell you what she was doing, because I was so amazed. I was watching her going up the bleachers, okay? She had one of those like resistant bands around her knees, okay? And she's doing squats and then kicking her leg, like, in boxing where you like put up your leg and like kick. And then she would go to the next bleacher and do it again and again, like up. Like so she's going incline and she has the resistance band and all that, okay? Guys, she was not in her 20s, okay? She had 5 kids. 5. She was killing it, man. And, you know, I was talking to her and I was asking her, you know, where she got these ideas and all that. YouTube, guys. YouTube. And she just says she looks up really fun things that she thinks looks awesome and will build up her strength and make her feel good. And she just goes out and does it. I'm like, respect. I wanted to clarify the difference between hard versus hate. So I was talking a little bit about running and how a lot of times people believe that running just isn't for them and it's just really hard. And I'm not trying to say that just because something's hard doesn't mean that you should do it. All I'm saying is that if you run and you dread it and you hate it, and you hate waking up early in the morning, and you hate going out in the sun, and you hate sweating profusely for 40 minutes, like, I don't know, maybe you don't sweat that much. I'm just saying, if you hate every single step of that exercise and workout, how are you going to progress and get better and, you know, meet your goals if it's something that you hate, you know? If you try an exercise and you just really want to like it, but you just hate it the whole time. You dread doing it. You dread, you know, going out there and completing it and trying to avoid it the whole day. Just, you know, there's like 1,000 different things you can do to exercise. Just because you don't lift weights or just because you don't run does not mean that you're doing it wrong, or that you should feel bad about not doing it. Just try something different and see kind of how it feels and see, you know, the way it makes you feel before you go out and do it. Are you excited to watch the video on YouTube? Are you excited to try something new? Are you excited to the time frame that it's going to be? Just kind of feel it out and feel what you're feeling. And during it, are you feeling strong? Are you feeling positive things? Or you just want it to be over the whole time? And then after, just kind of reevaluate and assess yourself and be like, okay, like that felt good. I feel like I could probably do that again, or I can plan that in the future to continue that and be the best that I can in this. Because I remember when I trained for a 5K, and I really enjoyed it. I remember the way that I had planned it and the schedule that I made for myself was enjoyable, and I was excited to complete the different steps. I had an app that I had downloaded. And I remember distinctly being able to run like up to the 2-mile mark. And then after that, no matter how many times I would go over 2 miles, no how many times I do it a week, I still dreaded it. Like my max for me is like 2 miles of running, which is fine. You don't have to go run a 10K if you don't want to. You're not a lesser person, a lesser woman. You're not a bad mom if you can't run a 10K just because there's a handful of moms out there that run a 10K, you know? I'm just trying to give you permission to assess yourself. If you don't want to do something, don't do it. The amount of resources that we have on this world, on this earth, the amount of resources that we have here are literally unlimited. It's crazy how many different things you can do, especially in your house. I mean, there's just so many. Okay, let me go. So I asked some questions on my Instagram. What are your go-to exercises? So that I could give you guys kind of an idea of what you guys could pick from. So Somebody says lifting, hiking, rock climbing, yoga, racquetball, body weight, high intensity workouts, running, ab workouts, sprinting, speed walking, and YouTube. I love that someone put hiking and rock climbing. I think that is so cool. Like if you're into the outdoors thing and like your hobby is exercise, dude, you just hit the jackpot. You know what I mean? Like you get to enjoy the thing that you love most and exercise. That is where you want to be, man. Like gold, you know? Okay, another thing that I wanted to talk about was our bodies. So one thing that I tell myself a lot is I need to exercise because I need to lose weight. I need to exercise because I ate dessert last night. I need to exercise because I ate too much food yesterday or whatever it is. Or I need to exercise because the scale this morning was not what I expected. It was way too high. I'm too big, whatever it is. And then, so I've done this multiple times and it really screws with me, like hardcore. I'll wake up in the morning. We all do this. And we're scared. I'm scared to get on the scale because of what it will say. Because of maybe I didn't work out yesterday or I ate one more cupcake than I should have. I don't know. I don't even like cake. I don't know why I said cupcake. One more cookie. And you're so scared to see the number because of the way that you're going to treat yourself later. Because you know that if you didn't stay the same or you didn't lose weight, even though you weren't trying to lose weight and you weren't trying to, eat healthy or whatever it is, you are expecting to have this amazing weight on the scale. And then you get the weight and you hate yourself for it. You say really mean things to yourself. Like, for instance, I would say, see, I knew it. See, I am fat. See, I can't control myself. So then you go on this. For me, it was like two things. I would either go so hard one way and like exercise and like, eat like half of a meal, not eat enough, and I would just go crazy. And then at the end of the night, I was just a wreck. Or I'd go the other way and I would just like binge eat everything. And I would just like hate myself for it. Either way you go, you end up hating yourself. And so one thing that I have learned, and I'm not perfect at it, but one thing that I've learned is figuring out my own body, what my body likes, what it doesn't like, what makes it feel better, and what makes it feel bad. And so some things that I would start to do is instead of letting my brain control everything that I do, I would think, okay, well, would my body like this? Is this in a benefit for my body? I believe in this life, and it's kind of my motto for my life is 50-50. So 50%, and I learned this from the great Brooke Castillo. If you've never heard of her, go look her up. She's amazing. She also has an amazing podcast, and I adore her. She has really opened my eyes up to life. And one thing that she teaches is you should never expect your life to be 100% happy. 100% on or 100% off, black and white, like, full balls to the walls or down in the dumps, And a lot of times we live our lives like that. I know I have. I will either do something 100% or not at all. I'll feel amazing about something or it's the worst idea, especially with my goals during the week. If I don't hit every box, I failed. And so that's one thing that has helped me incorporate exercise into my life is expecting that I'm not going to be 100%. That 50% of the time it might be uncomfortable, and 50% of the time it's going to be amazing. And when we have that feeling inside our hearts that tells us we don't want to exercise, it sucks, it's not going to be worth it, it's not going to do anything, just know that that is the 50% side that isn't happy or isn't the greatest or is really hard. And just know that once you get on the other side, once you get those workout clothes on, or once you step outside and it's a beautiful day, you start to step into the 50% good. Working out is not going to be 100% happy. As much as you want it to be, it's not. I mean, it's hard. And if everybody exercised because it felt good, nobody would be fat. Everybody would go out and exercise every day. But it's hard, and we have a lot of negative thoughts around it. If you can find something that you really enjoy and something that you want to do, something different, something that you want to learn, then you will be able to accomplish your goals and get out there and be the best person that you can be, and not get down on yourself just because you missed a day. Just keep going. Do it because you love your body. Do it because your body has done so much for you. Give back a little bit, to your body. Really show her that you love her. Show her that you care about her, that even though she's fat, maybe you're not. I'm just saying, even if she has a chubby belly, even if she, is a little thick around the booty or the legs, that she's worth something, and that you love her so much that you want to take care of her, and that you love her no matter what. Even if you did eat that cookie, even if you did have 2 servings of dinner, you love her so much that you're going to, exercise, and that you're going to allot time for her, have a really healthy relationship with yourself. If you imagine that your body is your best friend, are you going to just bail out on her when you scheduled a time to, walk around the neighborhood one time with your kids, or whatever you decide to do? Don't bail out on her, because she's going to be here for the rest of your life, and you want a close, strong relationship with her, and you want her to trust you. Some of the responses that I got, why don't I exercise? And some of the things that you guys put out there were great. No motivation. I can never find a good workout plan that works for me. No time because of kids. Too tired because of a newborn. Okay, guys, I love that. I love that last one, because I remember when I had a little baby, and I think with both my kids, for the first month or 2, I literally slept in the recliner for 2 months straight. My babies would just sleep on me the whole night. And then, of course, you're trying to breastfeed. And so it's just so much easier to be sitting up. You just had the click of a button and you could be sitting up and then laying down. And that's what I did for like the first 2 months, because they would just eat so much and they just wanted to be on me and sleeping. And it is so exhausting. They give that analogy of you have a pitcher full of water and you pour water into glasses that are your family, like your husband or your kids or housework, play dates, all these things that you put your time and effort into. And before you know it, that water in the pitcher's gone, and you're still trying to pour and pour and pour, and there's nothing left. And that's one thing that I really struggled with. I didn't understand why I was so sad and so negative and so lonely. And it was because I was giving everything that I had to my kids. Day in and day out, I just felt like I was so alone and nobody understood. And my kids would just take and take and take. And want to hug me, want to cuddle, want food, want this, want that. And it's like so exhausting. And I realized after a lot of strong emotions, and through my husband helping me out, of course, dealing with my crazy, I realized that I needed to give time to myself because I was giving it to every single other person. And then I started to feel a lot of anger and bitterness towards them because why don't they understand that I'm feeling this way? Why can't they just know what I want, know what I need? And, I would get angry and frustrated off of the littlest thing. And so I started to take time for myself, even if it's just one little thing. I remember I did a 30-day of yoga by Yoga with Adriene, and it seriously changed my life. I think the videos are like 30 minutes long each day. And I always knew that when my little baby was sleeping, that I would at least have 30 minutes. And that's what I started with. And it's amazing when you complete one thing, how much better you feel about yourself. And it's amazing the way that you feel by just giving time to your own self and to your own body. And that I could have my own thoughts and just be myself and figure out who that person is, because, we change so much after having babies and we don't know who that person is anymore. We just are going through the motions and giving everything that we know how to. And so I did that and I completed it, and the pressure on myself just really lightened up a lot. The pressure in my head was loosened, and the weight that I was feeling, that I was carrying around, it lightened just a little bit, just enough so I felt like I could breathe. And I remember the whole time that I was planning this, I told myself, I was like, I'm not going to finish it. I'm not going to be able to do it. I don't even know why I'm trying. It's not going to be worth it. It's not going to mean anything. We have all these thoughts in our head, and if you just do it, you just give yourself some time, it really makes a difference. Literally, before I started recording this, I was so grumpy. I think it was because I was out in the sun so much today with the kids that were out there playing in the water, and I was just toast after. And I was just laying on the couch and I was so tired. And then I got up because I knew I had time to record this today. And you know what I did that really helped? I didn't exercise. I turned on like one of my favorite songs, just really good music that I love. And I just blasted it in the car and I drove around and I picked up some Sonic for me and the hubs. And I felt so much better. You guys, if there's any way that you can just get in your car and turn on the music and jam out for a little bit, do it. It is seriously a game changer, and I loved it. It makes me feel so good to dance and to sing, and it just makes me smile, guys. It's so good. Okay, one of the things that I wanted to do is just talk about a couple things that I thought were just just things that I do during the week that are super funny or just really dumb. Mostly dumb. A lot of times your mama brain is just like, it short circuits and you do things that are seriously so embarrassing or seriously so dumb. But it's good to remember them and laugh about it. So I'm going to share a couple that happened to me, and I hope that you guys will share these. I really want to share just little random things that you do during the week, just to kind of add some funnies and laughter to your life, and just know that everybody out there is doing dumb stuff and you can laugh about it and just move on. So one thing, the other day I was trying to open our front door, and for some reason, I don't know what I was thinking, but instead of grabbing the key to the lock, I grabbed my car keys with a clicker and was like trying to click it open. thinking that it was going to open. It's so silly. But it's okay. It happens. Another thing, so I work as a nurse, and I thought all the symptoms of tetanus were the same symptoms of rabies. And like, I was having a conversation about this with my coworker. And if they get bit, like for some reason I was thinking that if they get bit by an animal or they step on like a rusty nail, they need the tetanus shot, of course. Like that's just what you get. Like if something foreign like cuts your skin, like you need a tetanus shot. No, it's false. It's false. Tetanus. If you step on a rusty nail or something like that, something cuts you that's like old and nasty, you get a tetanus shot. Okay. Rabies is if an animal bites you and they carry rabies, then you get a rabies shot. Okay. I'm just going to give you guys education out there in case you didn't know. So there's your education portion for today. Okay. Well, that's it for today. If you have any comments or questions or something that you want to comment about, just message me or send me an email. My email is thewaterbreakpodcast@gmail.com. If you don't already follow me on YouTube, click subscribe, and I will be posting videos up every week, hopefully. Follow me on Instagram, and you guys have a fabulous day, and see you guys later.